Hi, I'm Rachel McFadyen, and I'm at ICANN 65 in Marrakesh, Morocco, with Rafik Dammak, the GNSO Vice Chair and Head of the PDP 3.0 team. And we're here to talk about that and about the evolving the multi-stakeholder model. Welcome.
Thanks.
So let's talk first about the PDP 3.0 model, or the PDP 3.0 effort. So how is that going so far? What is your impression of how it's going?
Okay, so I think we are making progress. So we started in Kobe meeting by forming the team composed by volunteers from the GNSO Council, and we set up our work plan and we set a target to deliver our work in terms of implementation to the GNSO Council by the meeting in Montreal. So that now gives us roughly 4 months to finish our work.
And give us a little background about what the state of the project is and how, where you're at with what it looks like at this point.
Okay, so yeah, in terms of background, it's important to understand where we started in the beginning. So it was last year. We had our GNSO Council meeting in LA in January last year. And so we had that kind of really frank and candid discussion between councillors about all the issues and the concerns they see in terms of the policy development process and working groups. And we get as an input a staff paper kind of highlighting some issues from their perspective. And using that, we had that discussion and dialogue and thought how we can do better, what kind of improvement we need to do. And I think the really key words on this is how we make the PDP more effective and efficient, and understanding all the constraints we have in terms of the budget, human resource, and to do better planning so we finish on time and so on. So we had that discussion, and we spent last year working on the recommendation, and they were approved in Barcelona meeting. But after the recommendation, what matters is the implementation. And this discussion in the GNSO Council level was just what is the best approach to do so. And it's important, I think, for the Council to take ownership and something gets started. And we have the small team composed of councillors representing the different stakeholder group in the GNSO. And as said, we started in Kobe, and we are making progress in our work to get things delivered by Montreal, because we are talking about to be effective and efficient, and we have to live up to those expectations ourselves.
So this is a really ambitious project. This is talking about looking at root and branch of the way that ICANN makes policy. So this gets at the multi-stakeholder model of governance. So this gets into evolving the multi-stakeholder model of governance. How do these two efforts work together?
So our kind of initiative or project precedes or predates this whole discussion about the multi-stakeholder model evolution. And also in terms of focus, we are really just about the PDP. Because we need to remind that the GNSO Council is the policy manager, and so it was important for us to see what we can do better as a manager of the process, but also what we need to do to help the working group. So the idea how we can support the working group leadership, what the role of the liaison from the council, and then how they can help in the working group, and also what we need to provide in terms of resourcing and how we can do a better planning. But also, if you see it as a term of project management, we improve the reporting and so on. So it was the focus for the GNSO is really about the GNSO PDP. And I see that it's important to have this PDP 3.0 to succeed. as it's kind of the continuous improvement we see. And I understand that many parties within GNSO, they want to participate and give their input. So it's kind of, I think it will set for the future, and we will continue, and probably maybe we need to see how we can include more input and so on. Compared to what's going on with this multi-stakeholder evolving model, I guess there is overlap, and this is maybe what can concern many parties. It's just we should avoid the overlap or duplication of efforts. And this is what we are doing is more bottom up. We need it really to succeed. And at the end, we need to continue the improvement, because there is no way we'll fix all the problem. We are trying to adjust, and we are learning from the experience and of what we will apply in the future, and hopefully things will change.
So give us an idea of what you're focusing on in the next, say, 3 to 6 months.
In fact, even less than that, it's 4 months. I mean, we have several categories of recommendation that we are working on the implementation, but it's basically really like how we can get the consensus, because all our recommendations are consensus based. So saying they are consensus based is not enough. We need more guidelines. We need to support the working group leadership in kind of how to get that. And also in terms of procedure, do we need to improve them? Do we need to add more, guidance? So it will help all parties to understand the procedure. On the other hand, is, for example, to improve the reporting. It's not just to add more workload to the team, but it's to help the GNSO Council as policy manager to monitor what's going on, and so also to add that accountability. So as I said, we have those categories, and as we know that they are not enough. In fact, from what we discussed last year, we have some recommendation that they were not approved yet, and we know that they need more discussion. And also during the work of the PDP 3.0 team, we kind of find out there are maybe some area for improvement. But since we are just focusing on the implementation, we are thinking just we can propose that the GNSO Council for further work in the future. So yeah, we have 4 months. We need to get things done, as said before, because we have to live up of what we are asking the working groups and GNSO to do. And it's also a good experience for us to see if what is feasible and not, and using some of those recommendations in practice and see if we need some adjustment.
What is your best case scenario in the immediate future, or in the I won't be optimistic enough to say at the end game, but like in the immediate future, what's your best case scenario?
I think it's kind of to some extent it's happening is really to succeed in implementing this recommendation as soon as possible. I mean, it's fine to spend time to think about recommendation or to work out the implementation, but what matters really that it's implemented and to practice it, and so to see that in real cases. So yeah, the best case is we get those implemented, or I mean, based on the plan we are working on as soon as possible, hopefully like by next year in a new working group or even in existing working group, trying to improve them and to help them on their work. So that's really what I hope and what we want to achieve.
Great. I wanted to go back to one of the issues that you mentioned before about some of the issues that the community raised about the issues list and some of the issues with the policy development process. How do you feel the progress has been made in addressing some of those?
So I cannot really speak about the issues list, but because that's in an ongoing process. But reading some of the comment, I think there is some overlap of what we are trying to do or achieve. But I understand there is a lot of work still to be done. And I really believe that process as what we have that can be tweaked and adjusted can respond to this. So we need to know if there is a frustration in the different parties, parts of the community about the PDP in terms of effectiveness, efficiency, being done in a timely manner, and so on. But also we need to balance that about all kind of the principle we have, like diversity, representation, and so on. And that's also what were in our thinking when we started discussing the PDP 3.0. So it's how you can improve and keeping those principles. And so like that's what we are now doing in the implementation, and to think, do we need some guidelines? Do we need some checklist for decision making, and so on, to improve that process? I know that usually in ICANN we are quite procedural process oriented, but at the end it's kind of a needed factor to ensure the trust that in all parts with different interests in ICANN they can work together. So that's why we are spending time in the process. It's not because it's our hobby, but it's one of way that you can get everyone to work together.
That's excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Rafik Dammak from the PDP 3.0 team and the GNSO Council. Thank you very much.
Thank you.